Good afternoon. This is Tamrat Medhin from Little Ethiopia. We'll be joined in a few minutes by our co-host, Patricia McDougall, celebrity photographer. In the meantime, we have a new guest here today from the African Services Committee, Mr. Asfaha. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much.
And we have also the famous Tababu Asafa of the Blessed Coffee here too.
Thank you.
And he has more information about this gentleman. He's the one who introduced me. Though I met this guy years ago in New York, maybe a couple of
many years.
I have met you 2 or 3 times. That I met you also at the Ethiopian, Doctors Highest Organization.
Yes,
I met you there
true.
too. So we're gonna have a very good discussion. But in the meantime, I just like to remind people we had a very unfortunate situation on June 11th. Our beloved former council member Jim Graham died. He was a very great friend of Ethiopia, and it was the last 2 days was his final farewell, and we had the ceremonies over there. We'll bring it next week, but for now. But remember, that's why I have a bow tie, because the Washington Post, everybody was telling to people to bow tie in honor of him. He was an amazing guy. He was a friend of Ethiopia. He did a lot of things in bringing the Ethiopian culture and history to the Washingtonian. So I'm gonna leave for you. You can introduce your friend, and then we'll go from there.
Hi everybody. Thank you, Tamrat, for this opportunity. We're here today to celebrate 35 years service to the African immigrant community in New York and the greater New York area in general, but particularly the organization that was founded 35 years ago in New York, African Service Committee, has been provided vital service to the African immigrant community in the greater New York. In the context of that, we will talk about what the organization has done in Ethiopia for the last, I believe, 14 years, correct?
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years. After a successful community service, social service in New York, the organization has ventured all the way to Ethiopia to establish health clinics. African Services Committee has 5 clinics in Ethiopia, starting from the capital city in Addis, in a city called Kombolcha, Mekelle, and Zuwai, and Awasa. Ato Asfaha, the co-founder of African Services Committee and champion of the health centers in Addis, in Ethiopia, will be giving us the background story, why, how this thing was conceived and developed and promoted, and what kind of services it's providing right now on the ground. We'll celebrate that, and once we put that celebration, we're going to focus on the challenges of the day. Mr. Asfaha is going to send a call to the community because moving forward, we're at very uncertain times in terms of resources. So, and we're here to share the story, to celebrate the story, and to encourage the support of our community to make sure this thing continues. This service, this very valuable social service continues. And from my perspective, I have a personal agenda on this. Beside valuing the actual services provided to thousands and thousands of Ethiopians in health, despite the fact that this organization has created a full-time position for over 100 professional Ethiopians who are providing vital services to our community, the most important thing to me is the time has come. We Africans, we Ethiopians, Africans, stand to face our own challenges and advance our own solutions. It's good to have other communities rise up to the occasion. It's good to see others who have the privilege to lend their hands. That appreciated. While we appreciate all that, I think the time has come for us to stand together to face our challenges and provide our own solution, from financial support to professional services, because that is important for our own humanity. We're raising our kids here in the diaspora, and our kids live under 2 identification. They're on one level, they're Africans, Ethiopians, and the other side, they're Americans. And we want them to appreciate both heritage on equal footing. And so it's good and important for them to see us rising to the challenge of our own problems, advancing our own solution. So for our children, for our own psyche, for our own spiritual strength, for our own moral centering, it's important we start a new narrative. So far we've been busy settling down. We were newcomers with the new immigrants. We're trying to settle. We've made homes. We've developed professional businesses, and our economical base is getting stronger. So the time has come for us to write the new chapter. And it's important to us. It's important to our children. It's important to the people of Africa as well. And then at the end, we also want the world to see that we too are concerned about our social issues. We too have the passion. We too have the resources. And so that's what inspires me to sit on the table. Besides the fact that I appreciate what Asfa has done, or his organization has done for the last 15 years, appreciating the many services they provide currently, appreciating the fact that they have created valuable professional jobs for Ethiopian professionals to rise up to the challenge. That said, I also want to take it to the next level and say, I think this is the beginning of a new chapter. Africans prescribing their own solution, donating their own time, donating their own resources. And it's so important and vital and crucial. In fact, and my son, who is 18, who just graduated from high school in Silver Spring area at Blair High School, he was about to go to college, but my wife, my son, and I talked about the importance of the services African Social Services is providing. Now my son is gearing up to take a gap year, to go to Ethiopia on the ground and dedicate his energy, his young energy, to provide volunteering services to African Services Committee. It is important to him at this junction because he was raised here in the U.S., born and raised in the U.S. It's amazing, I left Ethiopia at a young age looking for myself, and I've come here in the U.S. I've made something out of myself. Now my son is going back to find himself. There's a book story right there. So this is the context in which we're going to have this conversation. And that said, I'm going to give Asfa, my dear friend, who's here from New York. We have a fundraising planned for July 28th. We'll come to that. We'll give you information, how you can support, how you can get involved. So to start the story, I'm going to give the mic to my dear brother. I'm very proud of him for the work that he's done. And I want him to start. He has this wonderful story. When I first met him, he impressed me so much. I went to New York to see his African Service Committee's staff, about 45 African members of our African diaspora community and Americans and other communities working together. So I went to see him. What impressed me, that will be a nice point of entry to the story. He said, I was once a refugee, and I came to this country, and I realized the importance of that social service. That's what inspired him to start the African Services Committee. So we're going to start from there, and we're going to ask him why he moved back. He's going to share the beauty, the ugly, and the challenge of social services, and we'll take it from there. So welcome, Tamrat. Once again, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share this story to our community. So Asfa, take it from here. Tell us.
I will. Thank you so much, Ato Tamrat and Ato Tubabu, for giving me this opportunity. It's a kind of opportunity that has been really missed or lost for so many years. So, as you might know, I came as a refugee here to New York, and the African Services Committee was initiated in 1981 in a small apartment in the Bronx. I still remember that apartment, 2327 Andrews Avenue, apartment 28, Bronx. That's how I started it, in a small apartment, helping, guiding fellow Ethiopian refugees, walking them through the system and so on and so forth. Then the organization grew, and it is where it is now. In New York, we provide counseling and testing, and we access our community into ARV, antiretroviral treatment. We have nutrition program. We have programs that empower women and young girls through programs of self-help so that they can generate income to support themselves. But the main important, also housing and immigration. It's a very solid organization in the New York metropolitan area. Grants do come from federal, from city, from boroughs, and from the state. But most important is generous Americans have been also really supporting our work. They appreciate, they value, because really the way we operate is really, it is clear, it's on the record, the transparency is there, it is well managed. So from there, you know, in 1991, you remember, that's where the whole HIV/AIDS exploded, and it has been eating up the young and energetic generation in Africa. And personally, as an African, most important as an Ethiopian, I was concerned. So what I had to do was really, I decided just to take off. There was no money, honestly. I just have to take off. I had a good friend of mine, Ruth Messenger, who is the president of Church World Service in New York. We've been friends. I have been involved in her political campaign when she ran for a borough president and for the mayoralship and so on and so forth. So, you know, when I went to see her, she said, as far whatever you want to do, I definitely want to help. So that was in 2003. The program that is in Ethiopia, it started in one clinic. When I said one clinic, it's really, as a matter of fact, it was a counseling and testing and the dissemination of information only in that market. Believe it or not, the American Jewish World Service, the grant was $25,000. They advanced us $12,500. It is with $12,500 that the clinic in Shola started. It's well managed, transparency is there, and I can say that I'm really extremely proud, but most important is also on the ground. The Ethiopians that got the employment opportunity were also dedicated. That's how it started. Now we have 5 clinics. From Shola we went to Kombolcha. From Kombolcha I went to Makale. From Makale I went to Zuwai, Oromia, and the 5th one is in Awasa. Those clinics are well equipped, state of the art. We have hematology, we have chemistry, we have CD formation, we also have microscopic. It is a one-stop, state-of-the-art clinic. We have nutrition program. We distribute multivitamins for pregnant women and children. We distribute shoes for the very poor children, including older ones. We have our nutrition program. We counsel and test. We provide treatment and also help women to generate income so that they become economically self-reliant. Some of them do baking, some of them do sheep fattening, and some of them do house clinic and so on and so forth. So the clients that we have are really huge. Those who are under treatment are really, I would say, in thousands. So antiretroviral treatment, you cannot take it empty stomach. You cannot miss your treatment for a single day either. So that has been really a challenge for us, because the resource that we get to those 5 clinics with 105 employees, nurses, lab technicians, nutritionists, and we have health officers. We have our pharmacies there. It is a one-stop. Our clients, they come to the center, they get counseled, they get tested, they have their transportation facility. We give them stipend to transport themselves from their home to the clinic, and so on and so forth. So I can say that we are proud to do that. But now comes the challenge where resource has become very impossible to raise. As you know, there is uncertainty here. Getting the grant is becoming impossible. The challenge gets accelerated. To close the clinics is not an option at all, because it is really asking those who are on treatment, abandoning them means expose them to death. And that will be immoral. That's why really I came here, to reach out to my Ethiopian community through you guys. And it seems to be is very encouraging. And I'm glad I'm here. It is a challenge. It is also about a time for me. I've been serving the community for the last 35 years, in Ethiopia for the last 14 and a half years. It's time to give it to the young generation, but I need help now. So the challenge is for my Ethiopian brothers and sisters. Can you help us? Will you give us your both moral as well as financial support? Will you be able to volunteer? Whatever you can do, really, you have to do it now, because we really are in a very serious situation. Those 5 clinics in 5 areas of Ethiopia are providing a tremendous support to our community. And I am sure some of you, when you have the time traveling to Ethiopia, you can visit the clinics. Some of you who are not able to go, we still expect your support, because these are our people. It's a challenge. We need to take care of ourselves, and I urge you to do your utmost.
If I can add, Tamrat, before you come into this, Mike, the call should not only be to the Ethiopians. The call should be to all
Everybody.
U.S. African diaspora immigrants, the bigger African diaspora, actually to the humanity as a whole. The way I see it, this is an iconic example to a grassroots approach. Unfortunately, so far, we had a top-bottom model. This is a bottom-up model. So for the sake of our children, for the sake of our own humanity, the call should go out, of course, mainly Ethiopians, because the centers currently are functioning in Ethiopia, but because it's symbolism, because iconic power to really rewrite the narrative. I coined it the other day, Nem Logane, which means in an Amharic word, I too for my people. So for us, for our children, for the world, for our global community, I think the call should go out to everyone. And I'm going to come back and tell you what we plan to do in the coming year. So, Tamrat, if you...
Well, thank you so much for coming to our show, and thank you so much also for doing this type of effort to help our people. And that's why we are trying to bring people like you, especially those who made efforts to directly work within the country. The rest of them will be a talk if we don't do something really back in the continent. So I appreciate this so much. And what we'll do is we're gonna post it on our magazine,
Okay.
littleethiopia.org. Most people see it, littleethiopia.org. We have over 200,000 people who see it, and that would be one. The second thing is we have to have a very good marketing campaign.
Yeah, I'm going to come to that,
You see,
actually.
it's very, very critical. You see, most of the time, people don't know about Ethiopia. I mean, they don't have enough information. There is also lots of misinformation. There is a lot of infights, which is, within the community. So people don't see this part of it. So we have to strategize in such a way that we can, in fact, I can put it on Ethiopia Mixer USA too. We can do that also. So what we can do is that, and the other things also, have you think of Fund Me?
Actually, we have a 1 year long campaign.
Okay, good.
In fact, before I do that, let me evoke an ancient wisdom and value, or the African value on Ubuntu, basically, which translates to, I am because we are, therefore I am. My humanity, my wellness is incomplete without the wellness of our community. So me being successful in any way is incomplete unless it is interjected with the totality of our community. So even for our own sake, for our own wellness, it's important we live as a part of a bigger community. So it's important in that context. I am because we are, therefore I am. So I'd like to evoke or call or recall the wisdom that has been passed to us. So that said, of course, any solution needs a long-term strategy and a short-term tactics. And the first and foremost, the campaign is going to be a year-long campaign. It started in New York last week. They had a wonderful fundraising. Asfa can give us a little brief on that. It was a successful campaign. And now we're doing it in July here in DC. And then we're going to take it to Ethiopia 6 months, 7 months from now. The date is not nailed yet. We're going to take supporters from here to visit the site. Seeing is believing. We want people to go visit the centers, meet the community. And ASFA has been getting support from grassroots leaders, businesses, policymakers, and we're going to extend an invitation to all to come visit the centers and be part of the fundraising in Ethiopia. We'll give more information as that develops. And then after that, we hope to come back in New York. And next year, we're organizing a gala to celebrate the 35th anniversary of African Services Committee. We're going to celebrate the success. We're going to recognize the support we got from the policymakers, grassroots people, professionals. We're going to celebrate as we aspire to go further. So it's a 1 year campaign. So people can get involved on so many levels. In the very immediate, they can contribute. You can contribute your financial resources, your skills. You can come and volunteer. If you are the health professional, you can come teach, and then you can. If you have a talent, you can write. If you can write music, whatever you can do to support the cause. And then, of course, the financial contribution is very, very important, and it's not a one-time deal. We'll put several levels of engagement and contribution. We'll unveil that. But as we move forward, we have to be successful in the very immediate as we aspire to do big things. So now the second event is in July 24th. 28th. It will be held as a dinner. It will be held in Silver Spring Civic Center. We will at the end leave some information. The invitation will go out next week. We're building a strategic partnership. We're identifying community leaders to spread the news. We're asking businesses to support. The artists have collaborated. My brother sitting there at Ohagos has organized an Ethiopian talent group to produce a show. So we'll unveil all that. And so it's a 1 year program. And July 28th to the next one. Before we move further, Asfa, if you can take a few minutes to tell us how great and successful fundraising you had in New York with an African chef, celebrated chef put together. Can you tell us?
Yeah, that was I think 10 days ago. Thea, the famous Senegalese chef. Who did his tour with Anthony Bourdain. And he was approached by James Cohen Gallery. At James Cohen Gallery, we have this...
a famous gallery in New York, one of the 5 large galleries.
And our own brother, Elias' show is also at the gallery.
Okay.
So what the owner of the gallery did was they approached the chef. He really volunteered to cook for only 40 people. For only 40 people, at 500 a plate. So they managed to really push it into 42. So we had 42 guests paying 500 each. From 7, this is to 9. Then after that also we have young African professionals who came after the dinner to do to interact, and we had a little DJ program organized again by the gallery and the board members, and it really was a successful. I mean, the young professionals paid 50 at the door. The dinner was 500. It was a really 4-hour program. It went very well. It was successful. There was no overhead expense whatsoever, so we did good.
Well, thank you so much. We're almost finished on our show, and my co-host is here, celebrity photographer Patricia. Are you gonna join us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Can you put it on?
Oh, the Lord said,
Welcome. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look,
thank
we
you.
have some special guests today. How about that? Tamrat, he's always doing some wonderful things, bringing on all the special guests. But before I just say 2 words about that, welcome to Patricia McDougall on the scene, celebrity photographer. And I want to say that video you just saw was a birthday celebration for the one and only, I'm going to say, Leonard Coleman and Blunt's, and it was Leonard's birthday and Coleman's birthday and Blunt. Not all the birthdays, but we were just celebrating life in general. But they had a wonderful, wonderful event at the Bethesda Jazz Supper Club, which I'm
Wow.
always there.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of time up there, and that's all the way in Bethesda. So I want to give a happy birthday to them. And a big shout out, and it said that the title of the event that day was "My Time to Shine," and they was definitely shining. But anyway, we're gonna come right back on, and I know you already met my special guest because Tamrat, introduced him. But can I just introduce him one more time? How about that? If you could just say your name.
My name is Tawa Safa. I live in Tacoma Park, Maryland. I'm known for founding the first ever African social business called Blessed Coffee, an Ethiopian coffee company.
Wow, well, I could tell you, I need some coffee right about now.
Coffee from the motherland, the birthplace.
My goodness.
There you
Well,
go.
I'm sure if you listened in earlier, you would know that these guys were talking about that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have to tune in the early part of the video to get that footage right there. And my friend, can you tell us your name as well?
Asfa Hadara, and I'm New Yorker, and I'm the founder and co-executive director of African Services Committee. It's a social service organization with 5 clinics in Ethiopia, 5 regions,
Wow. Well,
helping destitute mothers and their children.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, he probably already told you I'm a New Yorker myself. Raised in Staten Island.
Good network.
Worked in Manhattan on 59th and Columbus for over like 10
Oh
years.
my God, the fancy place.
Yeah. It's so funny who owns that building now. I was in the Paramount Pictures building, which is also known as GW, and it's right there on 59th Street in Columbus Circle. So, they really revamped that area right there, and I love it. If you haven't been there in a long time.
It has changed.
It has changed.
That's where Time Warner is.
Time Warner's in that building. Is it not a hotel or something like that as well?
It's incredible. We have a nice jazz group too there.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, we're going to have to bring the jazz group onto the show. How about that? Yeah. So, of course, my co-host. He was on there doing his thing, and he's always doing wonderful things. So just say where you're from again, Tamrat. We want to make
Tamrat,
sure.
Medhin from Little Ethiopia.
Tamrat means miracle.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Miracle.
The president
That's what
and
it means.
publisher of Little Ethiopia. You can see us on littleethiopia.org.
Well, how about that? Well, we're going to FaceTime this so everybody can know that we are live here in the studio. and tune in to Listen Vision Radio right about now, because we get ready to show some fun pictures from all this week and last week, and just some fun stuff. So please tune in right now to Listen Vision, because I'm going to tune out on Facebook, but please tune in because I got some treats for you. No. Anyway, so let's get to Alexander, my son. He just graduated here from Edison High School, so we're going to give a big shout out.
Congratulations
to my son Alexander. We're going to show some pictures, but let's show that video if we can. Is it possible? Let's show his video because I want to show him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I enjoyed the barbecue too.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Jordan Anthony Matt.
My son just graduated last 2 weeks ago in high school.
Taylor Allen Hayes.
Here we come. Get ready.
Joseph Russell McAllister. Catherine Alice McCoy. Alexander Sean McDougall.
There he is. As we hear the shot.
Cole Shirley McDowell. Rose McLaughlin. Ablema Medhin.
Okay, wonderful. Hey.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of him. He's a straight A student. He's A's and B's, and he's doing wonderful things.
There you go.
And here's some pictures and showing. He really stayed up all hours of the night studying, so I give the shout out to Alexander.
We do too. Congratulations.
He's an honor student for sure, and he's going to come to Howard next year, maybe maybe in January, I guess. But right now he wants to stick with Nova for a minute and just come down a little bit, and then when he gets over here to Howard, he's going to really be working. So we want to give a big shout out.
Congratulations.
Can we show those pictures from the album, the Alexander album? Because we had a big barbecue for him, and Tamrat, you actually stopped by, and so this is my godson with my daughter Leah. We were all in the house. We were swimming. We were just eating food and barbecuing and having a wonderful time. So that's my girls right there. Denise and Donna. Donna on the right, as you can see, she's my good friend from New York. And Denny, of course, that's me. And that's my girl Denise up in her house. She actually came out. They came out and supported me, so I really was impressed. My sister and her other half, they were actually barbecuing. They stayed there barbecuing. I mean, they was partying. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I thought I had to cook the whole time because nobody wasn't stepping up to the game, but it was all good. But anyway, here comes the crew right about here. Denise and her daughter and Donna and my daughter Leah with the white T-shirt. They were all having big fun. Did you get to see everybody when you were there?
No.
Or they were all in the pool by the time you got there? And that's the gangs all here, Messiah and Isaiah and all my girlfriends up in there and everybody. We were just doing it up. And that's my little girlfriend right there with her little that's Leah's auntie Laura with her little cousin over there. So they all came out and had a wonderful time. So we want to just move them pictures quickly. But that's Staten Island up in there. My brother Bobby and my sister Teresa, and that's my son and my grandson. Okay. They were all cooking on the grill. And that's the man right there of the hour. I'm telling you, wow, he really did it up. So I want to just thank you for listening. I mean, tuning into those pictures because that's what I'm talking about. So let's go to the birthday photos very quickly if we can. The ones right after that of Coleman and Blunt. We had a wonderful time. So we said happy birthday to Glenn and Joe. Oh my! And I'm talking about you saw the video?
Yeah, we saw the
video.
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome? They did a wonderful job. And that's me, of course. I always get in the middle of something, right? That's the mayor's office presenting them with a proclamation, and they came out and supported them. So big shout out and a happy birthday. So can we show the rest of those pictures because we want to show one other picture?
That's a wonderful venue.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
oh my goodness! I think there was another third picture in there. I don't want to miss that one of a lady chinning up. That's the wife to. If I'm correct, it might be Glenn. Oh, okay, it's all good. It's not in there. It didn't come out. But that's okay. Can we move right along to my condolences to the Jim Brown? And you can kind of elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, Ethiopia's phrase, the former council member Jim Brown died on June 11th, and we had his farewell yesterday at the All Souls Church, and it was a very trying time for everybody. The mayor of the city was there, the chairman of the council, and several dignitaries. and including his family members.
There you go in the back. Did you see you?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it
Even
was
Gray was
it was
there,
a great
yeah.
everybody. This is a former chairman of the council, and
Right.
Gray's over there, and Dr. Frank Smith, and everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So my condolences to the family. That was taken the day before when they had the I guess the viewing of that.
Exactly,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So I was able to stop by because it was on my lunch hour. But moving right along, NNCA. We were at the National Harbor, and we were on a boat ride. I was actually the sponsor. So they actually called me and said, Patricia, can you get on a boat and have some fun and eat all the food you want? I didn't eat all that. But Denise was in the house and having a wonderful time. And they said, come on and be a sponsor. I said, okay. I did. I really had a good time. So I just want to give a shout out to them too. You can find additional photos on my website and also theirs, patriciamcdougallphotos.net.com. Give a little glimpse. And then we're going to move right along to the next set of pictures right after that. NNPA. Oh, NNPA. Well, that one right there is not NNPA. No, let's back it up.
Yeah.
We went, this is USBC. Look, they're trying to confuse me here. But anyway, it's okay. We got it straight about right about now.
That's the commissioner.
So
Okay.
we got all the congressmen, dignitaries, Bobby Scott, the whole 9 yards. We got Rashawn Baker. We got all of the, all of the VIPs up in the house. And that's me. I'm the VIP, of course. As you can see, I'm chilling by the waterfront. I'm having a wonderful time, and that was day 2 of the boat ride. NNP, as you can clearly see who's in the house. I'm having a wonderful time with the Reverend Martin Luther King III and his family and his lovely daughter. And that's me, of course. I always get a shot in here and there. And that's beautiful Denise on the right, taking some pictures with us. And we had a wonderful time. And congratulations, because he was honored. He was awarded the Lifetime Legacy Award at the Gaylord, the National Harbor, the other day. And I had a wonderful time with Rashawn Baker. He was in one of those, he showed up at the reception prior to the event. So we want to give a big shout out and a congratulations to all who participated in the festivities. But anyway, we're going to move right back along to
So
that.
I hope you
'cause
give me his
know-
address. I'm gonna send him congratulatory letter.
Oh. Can we pull those pictures back up for the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce? We do not want to remiss that one for sure. And we have a few pictures in there, if you don't mind showing them all, because they all go together for sure. And we want to show everybody. I actually want a ticket, an airline ticket, believe it or not.
Wow, to where?
You can go anywhere you want to, and
Wow.
that's me, as you can see with my man Corey in there, and also with me, with the man of the hour, the Ronald Busby. And so I just had a wonderful time, and I want to give a shout out. My family was actually there, my brother in the middle there, and some sponsors here as well, and my other brother Robert with the light jacket. That's my brother Robert. He's actually from New York. He came up to sponsor, and this is Ron Busby's son in the middle, and his mom and his dad. They actually participate in the program, and that's the man of the hour. I know we're going kind of fast, but anyway, everybody and who was in the house. So we want to give a big shout out to all who participated in the festivities. So and Dr. Skinner, she was in there too. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I love her. She does wonderful things, and she's always supportive of me and all the stuff that I'm doing. So I want to give a big shout out to her as well. So can we show a video if we can? Because I have a few and I don't want to miss them.
We don't see eye to eye. I'm not sure you understand.
right there. That young lady there, her name is Tyra Lavon. She was at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club last night, and her song was about Testimony Unplugged, an intimate evening, and I mean, it was intimate. I mean, I really enjoyed her music. It was super fabulous. And if you go to my YouTube at Patricia McDougall, on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to find that full footage of that video. It's up right about now, so please tune into that as well. So, you know, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to my all the videos and shows. And I have additional photos that I'm going to actually put up on my website. So please go to that for additional photos because it's a lot. It's too much. But anyway, we're going to play a Prince video as we end the show today, and I want to have you tune into that when the show is ending out. But in the meantime, we just want to give these gentlemen right here opportunity to say a few more things because they are special guests. So why don't we do that very briefly?
Well, the last statement that we have is we want to give thanks to Patricia and Tamrat, my brother, for making this available and a platform for us to communicate with our community. We're going to make sure our community tunes in because this is community resource. So thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity. The last thing I'd like to say is about the fundraising. You can go to the website africanservices.org. africanservices.org. All information will be available. Once again, thank you. The time has come for us to write a new narrative for us, for ourselves. Thank you so very much, and I welcome you on July 28th at the Civic Center building in downtown Silver Spring.
Well, that's
thank
a
you.
nice place.
For
So that
all
one
people of the
plaza,
world.
right?
Yeah, for all people of the world.
Yeah. Is it free? Is it?
It's going to be. It's a fundraising
It's a
dinner.
fundraising.
Oh, it's a dinner.
Yeah,
Okay,
we have an
okay.
Ethiopian
Light
traditional
dinner.
band, a light dinner.
Okay. What kind of music? Ethiopian.
Ethiopian
music?
traditional
Oh,
music.
Wow.
The
You
gentleman
are
of-
invited. What
So I
date
guess
is it?
I get to have injera.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
actually,
little bit, right?
actually, you're invited to
Yes.
come take pictures and share the story with your community.
Yes.
We'd love
What
to
is
have
the date
you.
again?
It is July 28th.
Okay, I'll
We'll
check
stay-
my
yeah,
schedule on
yeah.
that.
Friday,
Yeah,
July
we'll see.
28th.
You know, my schedule.
And then we
is-
will also give thanks to you and Tamrat for providing this opportunity.
That's
You will
very
be in
nice
all our
of you.
information material.
Thank
you. This is the
you.
beginning of
As
our
usual,
relationship.
are you going to invite the
Yes, we plan to.
the
Elected
governor, the mayor? I mean, you have all
Yeah.
the contact you have through the all
We're going to
years.
invite everybody, the grassroots community, the media, the elected officials, everybody is going to be.
Well, that's
Yeah,
going to be a
yeah.
place to be if you're in town. I
Yeah.
hope to be here. I'm going to have to check my
We'll
schedule.
send an extension.
But I just want to make sure everybody knows I will not be on the show next week. I will be in at the Essence Festival, so please tune into that. Tamara's going to have to hold it down.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to Skype in or something
Yeah.
with all the festivities because you know it's getting ready. If you're familiar with the Essence Festival, who's going to be there? I know Diana Ross is going to be one of the
Essence
opening
Festival?
leads,
Oh,
opening
my
up,
God.
and I'm going to be. The
Oh, I'm
seventh
coming
ever.
with you.
I'm going to have to put my hair like all wild and everything just to keep up.
I think you need a bodyguard, and I will come with you.
And guess what? I got all access, so you know I am gonna be off the charts with those
Well,
photos
Patricia
and videos.
McDougall, the celebrity, so
Yeah.
you got
Don't
it.
even try to call me, okay? Because I'm gonna be busy. So I want you to tune into that. Wow, that's gonna be next
Yeah,
week.
Mr.
on the
Asfa, anything to
weekend.
say?
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ato Tamrat. Thank you, my sister. I just want to say that I hope we'll see you at our fundraiser for July 28th, it's Friday,
Right.
from 7 to 10. We'll be delighted to see you. We want your support because
Absolutely.
it is a very important issue. The programs in Ethiopia need to survive. We need to raise funds.
Absolutely. Right.
It goes to destitute mothers and their children, those who are on treatment, HIV, AIDS, TB.
Okay.
So we need nutrition supply for the children, for the mothers. Please visit our website, www.africanservices.org. So I'm very grateful again for you guys and Ato Tababu.
Mr.
for-
Tababu,
Yes.
can you call some of your new friends who have now become senators and congressmen
yes, very
to come
quickly,
here
thank
and speak for us? I remember the governor was the first one drinking the Ethiopian coffee. I have it on my magazine.
First thing I want to do is I'm going to put a Facebook message to say thank you to the two of you.
Yes.
And we're going to introduce your program to our community.
Please,
We're going to list you
yes.
as our media partner.
Absolutely,
And that's how
yeah.
we're going to sustain
Yeah.
a wonderful growth in our community.
Well, we appreciate
Yeah,
all of you. We're excited about being a part of that time, and thank you very much for inviting these special guests. I've truly enjoyed them. You'll have to come back. Maybe I'll have you next week.
Yes.
You seem like you have so much to talk about. I mean, I might have to Skype in, but in the meantime, we don't have about 2 more minutes, and I want to make sure I show that video, right?
Okay,
Because
good.
I promised them. So I just want to say, tune in at Patricia McDougall on the Scene Celebrity Photographer every Sunday at 2 o'clock. If not, my co-host will be here live in the studio holding it down. So thank you.
Oh,